Have you ever noticed you have an internal commentary or other thoughts running through your head when you're supposed to be paying attention to something else? Maybe you're thinking about something else right now while you're listening to me. When I started learning about meditation, I heard a teacher say that meditation is the space between your thoughts. And I thought, what space? There is no space. My thoughts run into one another. They overlap. When there's so much internal noise, it can feel harder to focus, harder to figure out what to do next. Layer in the fact that we have access to more information than ever through our phones, the internet, social media, experts, and artificial intelligence. It's no wonder many people grapple with their choices. Every day, there are people making life-changing decisions. Yet, when they're surrounded by internal and external chaos, it can feel harder to discern what is best for themselves. We need to start turning within. A few years ago, I was unexpectedly diagnosed with cancer, and within an hour, also offered the executive role I had pursued for months. When I hung up the phone, I held my palms up and looked toward the sky. I felt like I was being asked, what are you going to choose, your health or your career? I didn't know what I was going to do. The decisions I made during that time were nothing I ever would have predicted. And not everyone agreed with my choices, but it was what I felt was best for me. The recommended treatment was resection surgery, but I wanted to make an informed decision. So I made appointments for second and third opinions, read medical articles, books on cancer and healing, and listened to other people's stories. After a few days of taking everything in, including making time to turn within, I decided not to have the surgery. Then one night, I was with my young daughter, going through her bedtime routine, when a sudden thought hit me. What if I'm not here one day to put her to bed? In that moment, I decided to have the surgery. But I refused to be a passive patient. What began as a physical healing journey evolved into a deep inner one. And with practice, it became easier to quiet the internal noise, feel what was best for me, and become more aware. I turned down that executive job I had chased for months, and I eventually quit my corporate job, and it all felt right. Many people live in a state of self-doubt, overthinking decisions, seeking external validation, or staying in situations that no longer feel right because they are afraid. But there is only one person in the world who knows what feels best for you. So how do you discern between your wise inner knowing and your ego voice? I'll share 3 practices. 1, connect with your body. 2, make space between your thoughts with stillness. And 3, treat yourself with kindness. Science shows our bodies are constantly communicating with us, often before we are even consciously aware of it. In a study called the Iowa Gambling Task, researchers gave participants 4 decks of cards with the objective to win play money. What they didn't know was that 2 of the decks were stacked to win, and 2 were stacked to lose. After only turning over 10 cards, participants' palms began to micro-sweat each time they reached for a losing deck. But it took them turning another 40 cards before they even had a hunch something was wrong, and another 30 before they could verbalize what it was. Their bodies were signaling to them the truth long before their minds could form the question. Our intelligent bodies are always communicating with us. We just need to tune in. So I'd like to show you how you can start doing that right now. So if you want to join me, please sit up. Place both feet flat on the ground. Relax your body. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And then drop your awareness into the space in the center of your chest and close your eyes. Soften this space here and bring in a true statement, calling yourself by your name, saying, "My name is," and notice how your body feels. Now let that go. Take another slow, deep breath, and keep your awareness in that space in the center of your chest. Keep it soft, relaxed, and open. And now internally bring in a false statement, calling yourself by a different name, and notice how your gut, your chest, and shoulders react. What you will likely notice is your body feels relaxed and open with true statements, and tightness, tension, or closed off with false ones. But don't worry if you didn't notice anything today. With practice, it becomes easier to sense the subtle signals your body is sending, and even more so when you can make space between your thoughts with a stillness practice. A stillness practice, like meditation, helps. Research has consistently shown that a regular meditation practice improves mental clarity, cognitive processing skills, and overall well-being. It has also shown to help reduce that internal noise that can drown out your bodily wisdom and inner knowing. When you first start sitting in silence, though, you may notice a judgmental voice saying, "This is too hard, I can't focus, it's not going to work." I know that voice well. After the surgery, I was told to take it easy for a few weeks as my body recovered. I was home from the hospital, lying on the living room couch, and I found myself staring at the kitchen, internally berating myself for not cooking, cleaning, or doing anything. What I didn't know was that was my ego voice. In that moment, though, a knowing wiser and kinder than that ego voice told me that the way I was speaking to myself wasn't right. That critical ego voice is not you, nor is it the voice of your inner wisdom. Your body is always speaking to you, but the way you treat yourself and the way you speak to your body may affect your ability to hear those signals. The most important relationship you will have in this whole lifetime is with yourself, and that includes your body. So treat yourself with kindness. My body, my relationship with myself and my body changed after the diagnosis, but it took time and effort. What I've learned and want to share with you is that it's always been you being there for you. So the next time you're dealing with a difficult decision, instead of overthinking, take time to drop out of your head, come into your body, open the space in the center of your chest, and feel. It is your intelligent body and inner wisdom that can help guide you to your best answers. You simply need to turn within, trust, and empower yourself. Thank you.